Hey everyone, Stephanie here with the Secular Student Alliance.
And Chase here with the Secular Student Alliance.
So we are excited to introduce to you all a new training that we are about to show you. As many of you know, Ask an Atheist Day is April 17th, so that is a little over a month away, but it does not hurt to get prepared as soon as you can. Plus, Ask an Atheist is a really fun day to get to interact with other students on your campus, let them know what you believe, why you don't believe, and what your SSA chapter does. So in this training, we're going to go over some potential questions that students on your campus may ask you. Some of them will be pretty hard-hitting, some of them will be really easy and silly, but nonetheless, we're going to show you a quick role play and real-life scenario of what that may look like. So Chase here will be playing the student, and I will be the random student on campus that is interested in your lovely chapter tabling setup and with your sticker. So let's get started. Hey, I'm a new student looking to join. I saw your table and you seemed like you're a non-religious atheist kind of guy. Like tell me about yourself. Like, if you don't believe in God, what do you believe in?
Great question. So of course I believe in science. I definitely don't know everything about the world, but I trust those scientists who are better experts than I am. Peer-reviewed science. So bigger questions about the universe, I'm not sure, but I do believe the Big Bang happened. Obviously things like gravity, all these provable things are all real, and I sort of build my knowledge from there. What happens after we die, I don't know, but I guess we'll all have to see at some point.
And what if you're wrong? What if there is a God out there? What if it may not be, Jesus Christ, but what if there is an entity out there that dictates how we live, why we are alive, and that sort of thing?
That's a great question. My personal opinion is that no religion that I've seen on Earth really covers everything that I would expect a all-knowing, benevolent deity to sort of provide. And so that's part of why I don't believe. On the other hand, I guess you could describe myself as an agnostic in the sense that in theory, I could believe that there's some sort of deity out there. I just haven't seen that reflected in any religion on planet Earth. And so, what if I'm wrong? I guess I would say if there is a truly benevolent deity out there, I think when I die, that benevolent deity would say, well, hey, I understand where you're coming from, why you didn't believe. Like, there wasn't really a religion that truly reflected who I am as a deity on Earth, so don't worry about it. As long as you're a good person, you're cool. And if it turns out there is no deity and at the end we just die and that's all that happens, then, I'm sort of covered in either case. Like, either there's a nice deity who helps out, I die and nothing happens, or I suppose if some of these religions I don't like are true, I frankly don't want to be part of them. I don't want to relate with that God anyway. If he's given a bunch of rules I don't want to follow that I don't think are fair.
Okay, and how do you find meaning in your life if you are not sure that there's a God, or how do you find your meaning?
That is also a great question. I do think that's something that each human being has to somewhat find out on their own. My personal opinion is that because life is short, because I believe we only have one go on this planet Earth, that actually makes it all the more imperative that you have to do good. Because if you recognize how incredibly short your life is, that means that everybody else's life on planet Earth is also short. And if they are only getting one shot at it, it's really important to be good to that person. While you could argue that the fact that if there's a God and there's a heaven, this person will exist into eternity means, they might have been poorly treated for a little bit on Earth, but they're cool because they get to live in a perfect paradise afterwards. To me, that seems like a sort of easy way out for people to do the hard work that we really need to do in life, which is treating other human beings with the respect that they deserve and treating our planet Earth with the respect that it deserves. Since we are the stewards of this planet and our society, everything around us, we need to make sure that we preserve this opportunity for future generations and make sure they have the same opportunities that we have. And we can't just sort of expect a deity to solve these problems for us. We've got to do it ourselves.
Yeah, no, for sure. I could definitely see where you're coming from. Now, as a religious person, I'm definitely open to more conversations about this. So I would definitely love to learn more about your chapter and join you in a future meeting.
Absolutely. Well, Secular Student Alliance is proudly pluralistic. We do believe that different belief systems can live side by side, and obviously plenty of people like our founders of this country were religious folks who also believed in separation of church and state, so we would love to have you at our next meeting.
Awesome. I'll see you then.
Sounds good.
And that is typically what a conversation might look like when someone comes up to you. Obviously, in this specific situation we just played out for y'all, I was a religious freshman, wanted to see more what that stays about, and Chase was the person at the tabling to do the Ask an Atheist Day questions and interactions with the students. So, as you may have noticed, I did ask 3 questions total, and if you're not sure about what questions you may be asked, we do have a lovely list of these questions on our website. So those include really simple ones like, why don't you believe in God? What if you're wrong? But there are a few more hard-hitting ones, such as, where do you get your morality from, and what is morality without a God? So obviously those, require a little bit more brain power. That's something that's more of a philosophical question you may not be interested in answering. But nonetheless, really do take a look at some of these questions. Do a quick prep with you and your other members just to see, how you want to go about some of these questions with these students. And another thing I do want to point out that's really important, when students are approaching you at your table, always treat them with respect. If they're coming in respectfully, obviously, you don't want to scare them off. You don't want to seem uninterested. And even if they are a religious student, it is valid for them to ask you some questions, so do not brush them off. And when you are talking to them, engaging with them, looking directly in their faces, in their eyes, shows that you are interested in having this conversation. And obviously, if you can, stand up, talk to them, but if the conversation kind of starts going deeper and deeper, you're more than welcome to sit down, talk to the student, and have your other members kind of take the lead with Ask an Atheist Day, because in the end, it's about interacting with your students, letting them know what SSA is about, what you're about, and all that sort of good stuff.
Yeah, it's also helpful to have open body language, like try not to have your arms crossed like this. That makes it look like, people are less likely to approach you because you've sort of closed off your body. Try to have open body language and try to make sure that, you're looking for people that are checking out the stuff you have on the table, and maybe even give them a little wave so they come over. If on the other hand, you maybe got some folks with you and you're just sort of looking at your phones or you're just chatting with each other, but you're not really looking to folks on the other side of the table, they're going to be less likely to come over. So make sure that you're sort of forward facing and you're creating an environment that is receptive, that encourages people to come over and engage in conversation, since that is definitely the point of Ask an Atheist Day.
And this is the training, so we really are excited to see what y'all come up with. Of course, for some reason you can't participate on April 17th, you're more than welcome to host it on any other day of the month, or even post something online. So if you really like the way your interactions went and you want to share your pictures, or maybe even do another role play scenario just to show off on your social media, you're more than welcome to. But this is what to expect on the day of in person. So we definitely hope you found this really helpful. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or Chase, and we're more than happy to help with your Ask an Atheist Day setup.
Looking forward to hearing from you.